We have another dating report. I love these, seeing what people are up to out in the dating world. And this guy is over 40 from the looks of it. He says, I had a fun night. She's 31 years old, so she's a bit younger than him, so good for him. I think if a guy's in his like early 40s and she's in her early 30s, I think that's a pretty good um, age gap there. I think a lot of good relationships can come out of that. She's been single for 6 months, moved back in with her father after breaking up with her boyfriend. Okay, so she's single for 6 months. We don't really know what that means. When a woman says she's been single for 6 months, does that mean she hasn't been dating anyone? Does that mean she has not been sleeping around? I think for women, it just means she hasn't been in a committed relationship. So you just gotta be aware of that. But is 6 months enough time to move on from a breakup after being with her boyfriend? Probably not. I don't know how long she was with her boyfriend in the past, but that's something to be aware of. When you're dating a woman and possibly looking to have something long term with someone, you don't want to be getting into a relationship with a woman who's recently broke up with her boyfriend because she probably still has feelings for that guy and she's not ready to move on. You might just be the rebound. Hey, being a rebound's fun if you just want to date her casually, but if you want to look for something long term, she needs to chew on her thoughts a bit more and completely move on from that guy. But yeah, she's living with her father. Yeah, it's difficult out there. It's very hard, especially in the UK. I don't know where this guy is, but it's hard to cover rent if you are a solo person, especially at the age of 31. But it's good to see she obviously has a good relationship with her father, so that's a green flag. He asked her how's single life. Bit of a weird question, but it's also a good question because you can find out what she's been up to see if she is maybe sleeping around a bit too much for you, if that's something that's important to you. She replies, oh, guys take me out for dinner. And he asks, what, just like this? Embarrassed pause. We have a lot in common. She even went to the same school as me. Okay, so obviously she's dating around a lot. So she says she's been single for 6 months. As I mentioned, a woman saying she's been single is kind of different to how men view it. She's obviously been dating around. This guy's, I get it, he's in his 40s, so he thinks, oh, I've got to take her out for a dinner date on a first date, but you don't have to. You don't have to spend 50, £100 on a first date because you don't even know this girl and you don't want to be called just for a foodie. Sounds like this girl's been on multiple dates where guys took her out for a free meal. Obviously, she's not financially in the best state because she has to go and live with her father. So these are just like free meals for her. This is a great business plan. So from this guy's point of view, it started to tick in his head like, oh, am I just another guy who's paying for her food bill? Which is why you should keep it super casual. Maybe go for a few drinks. I know a lot of guys in the space like to take a girl out for coffee. Low investment, see if the vibe's there, and then you can spend a bit more money on her on the second or third date. This guy's gone straight in. She's probably pretty, probably has some nice watermelons, and he's taking her out for a food date. Probably not the best idea. Let me just have a sip of my rum and coke. Happy New Year to all of you if you found this video. Thanks for joining me. So he says she even went to the same school as me. Okay, you've got something to talk in common there. Doesn't mean she's going to be a good long-term relationship. He says meal ended. Luckily, I'd arranged several other places to go to. Okay, good idea. Yeah, you want to go to multiple places to keep things exciting. Women want to be in a love story. So I like that idea. Again, not a fan of doing a big 3-course meal on a first date, but what's done is done. He says, last stop was a bar my mate owns, where we had a table at the back. Yeah, you should just started straight there, bro. But hey, you got there in the end. Hopefully some drinks will flow. Don't get too crazy. And go in for the kiss. That's the aim. Especially if it's a cool bar. Just don't let your friend embarrass you or try to impress her too much. Because, yeah, owning a bar is pretty cool. Do you own a bar? She might have the hots for the bar owner. That would not be a good sign. Leaned in for the kiss. Good job, bro. She stopped me. I block people for trying that move, she said. Oof. That's a bit rough. It sounds like she's a bit structured. And bro, she would not block the kiss from you if you were like Zac Efron or Brad Pitt. That's the mindset you gotta have. Is like, okay, she put in rules in for me, but breaking rules for the hot Chad. That's what you got to start thinking to yourself. You want a woman who has crazy desire for you, or you're wasting your time. Like you're in your 40s. You don't know what's around the corner, so only date and spend time with women who are crazy about you, because once you experience that as a guy, you can't go back. You'd only after that experience of feeling a woman really crazy about you, you're only going to date women like that. Trust me, it's incredible. But yeah, her saying that kind of sounds a bit structured and a bit feminist to me. But hey, maybe I'm just dropping the gun there. He continues. Okay, I guess I just thought we were two people out on a date and that was the inevitable conclusion for a good evening out. Well, if he's forcing it and there's been like no signs of that and he hasn't built up to it, then I completely understand why she, kind of gave him the cheek. Because you've got to build up to it. You've got to flirt, you've got to say how beautiful she looks, you've got to make little jokes, maybe brush her arm, sit close to her. Hopefully there's some nice piano music in this bar. You could have, look, you know the guy who owns it, so hey, say, hey bro, can you dim the lights a little bit? Can you put some nice bit of Elvis Presley in the background? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, set up the mood. You can't just go into it because you feel like you have to. Because that's what it kind of sounds like in his post here. She smiled, we had one last drink, and then she wanted to leave. Yeah, don't get her too drunk, bro. She's going to start reporting you for trying to get her drunk and to try and get in her pants. You don't want no police report. She stormed out of the bar. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Maybe that's a good sign. Just let her go. And check out the girl at the bar who's been giving the look all day. I'm sure she's much more fun. Maybe this girl can't control her alcohol. So she stormed out the bar. He follows her, a little drunk. Yeah, bro, 2 drinks maximum. If you can't control your drink, don't drink it. And women, I don't think I've ever met a woman who can control her alcohol. Like, after 2 cocktails, they're a bit loopy. And that's where you should stop it. Yeah, but this is actually a good thing as well. You can see how drunk, what she's like when she gets drunk. Because if she acts poorly when she's drunk, then it's an easy move on to the next. You don't want to be dealing with a girl who can't control her alcohol. You promised me you'd call me a cab home, she says. Oh my god. So he's obviously been paying for the meal, took her to multiple venues, probably paid for all her drinks. She gave you the cheek when you went in for the kiss, and now she's saying you must call me a cab home. Like, come on. How entitled can you get? It's 2025, people. What happened to women paying for their own cabs? It is the gentleman thing to do, but if she's saying it like that, then yeah, F her. She says, okay, so I did, and she left. So this little cuck boy was shouted at by some drunk woman, and he paid for her cab, and she left, and probably to never see him again. Sounds like you dodged a bullet here, but you probably spent like 200, 300 quid on this girl. Not worth it. Didn't even get a kiss. No, so he says, no, oh, maybe you can share it and then go home after. No, she jumped in and left. Well, you deserve it, bro, for being a bit of a simp. But she showed you her true colours. You dodged a bullet, and she's going to do the same to the next idiot. Walking to the station, I asked someone for a cigarette. How was your night? He asked, as he offered me a light. Not bad. Was on a date, but not sure where to stand. Bro, it's as clear as daylight. How much did it cost you? The guy asked. I did the mental arithmetic. About £500. Guys, I promise you, I don't read these posts beforehand. It's completely loose, which you can probably tell in how this is structured. But yeah, I didn't see that cost before. My guess was like 100 quid maybe. 500 quid. This guy's an absolute simp. Hopefully he learnt this lesson. He'll never do this again, but I'm sure he went on many first dates to dinner places many more times after this. Right, let's wrap up this video. It says, dude, you could have a top drawer hooker for that much. So true, bro. That's the thing. With dating and relationships, you are paying for sex. Arguably, I don't mean it's like too coy. I'm kind of saying this in like a jokey way, but like, aren't we all just prostitutes? Like you're paying for these dates. You know, you're paying for a woman to sleep with you in some regard. And yeah, this guy paid for a very expensive hooker who didn't even give him a kiss. Not good, not good. He says he wasn't wrong. I don't know if I'll ever see her again. I like to, but I'm also not happy by her lack of awareness. Bro, why would you want to see her again? What, because she smells nice and she's the first girl who like swiped on you? You're in your 40s. You need to start spending time on women who treat you well and who are crazy about you. This guy continues. He's got another paragraph, but I think we'll just end it there. This guy obviously needs to start dating women who appreciate him a bit more, who doesn't have these ton of red flags, and also you don't want to get your date drunk or spend £500 on a meal on her. It's as simple as that. This guy kind of deserved it, but hopefully he's learned his lesson. And yeah, that girl's bad news, but hopefully she's going to be someone else's issue. And this guy can find someone who's going to treat him much better. Anyway, that's all, guys. Cheers. See ya.